Hello everybody, this is Naomi, and today I'm going to show you how to do the Celtic cross spread. And the reason I'm going to show you how to do the spread is because this is a great spread for validation of your talents as a tarot card reader. And it's a 10-card spread. There's more cards over here. Now, most new readers do not like the Celtic cross spread. Why? I've heard they tell me, well, it gives too much information about what's going on with the person and not enough future information, which is true. The last card is the outcome card, their future. And there's a little bit of future in the 6th card. But it really does just tell the situation that's going on. It describes it to a person. But that is why I love this spread. This is a validation spread. This is how you get to people to trust you. If I do a reading for you and just tell you everything that's going to happen in the future, with nothing about what's going on now, how are you going to believe my predictions for the future, for the energies that are going to be coming up for you? You're not going to believe it. You might believe me, but most people are skeptical. With good reason. They should be skeptical. And so this really connects you with a client. It makes them see that you can see exactly their situation and what's happening in their life. And so then they will trust that what your future prediction for them is going to come. It's what's coming at them. So it's a very good reading for verification of facts, of what's going on. And now when you do a Celtic cross, there's no reason you can't expand upon it. And I will expand in other videos how there are smaller readings within this large spread. I can gather more information than just what the 10 cards represent. There's smaller readings within this. It's a big reading, and there's a lot of knowledge to gain within it. So trust that it's really going to be a very useful tool for you to become a established and talented reader. Trust me, it will. And if you listen to these videos and try out my methods, I'm going to make you an excellent reader. This spread will make you an excellent reader. It's going to give you validation. It's going to make people say, wow, she knows what she's talking about, or he knows what he's talking about. It's really the workhorse spread of the tarot readings. It's a great divination tool. So really try to, banish your negatives about doing a Celtic cross spread for people. It will develop your skills really well, and I've used it most of my time doing tarot. I've used this on people mostly. The most used spread I use. Even though I've developed my own spreads now, this is still a great tool, especially for somebody that you're reading for new. Now, the first thing you want to do with a Celtic cross or any other reading is to get the client to give you a specific question. Now, this might be harder than you think. And if you say, do you have a question? From my experience, most people go, no, I just want to see what you have to say. What are in the cards for me? So don't word it like that. Don't say, do you have a question? You have to explain that a personal question is going to give them a personal reading. And it can be very detailed reading for a specific focus. Now, if they still give you a hard time after explaining that a question is better for them, ask them to focus on one area in their life then. let it be business, money, you know, their career, their family, their friends, one situation in particular. It really will give you a wonderful reading, a very personal reading that will knock their socks off if they have a question. So emphasize that this is a great reading for them to do, to have, that they need a question and it will serve them better. And it's not a way for you to, you know, pick their brain to have information, you know. It's really just for them to have a better reading. So once you have the question in mind, you can begin. Now the first 4 cards I call the validation cards. And if you don't get the first 4 cards to tell you the story, if the client doesn't agree with what you're saying, if they're not right with you, they're saying, yep, that's true, nodding their head in agreement, then something's wrong. The first 4 cards describe the entire situation. And there's no shame if you get the first 4 cards and you start telling the story to them, and the querent starts saying no, shaking their head no, or, you know, just doesn't seem like it's agreeing with them. You have to talk to them, ask them, does this sound true? Does, you know, ask them, am I going in the right direction here? Because if those 4 cards are wrong, nothing else in the spread is going to help you to write the spread. So you might as well just tear the spread down and start over. And there's no shame in that. You can say, well, I really want to focus again and retry, because the first 4 cards you can explain are very important cards, and really they have to be on target. So let's begin. Now this is the first card in the middle here, and this represents where your client is now, or where the person in question is now. Okay, so this might be about a question about somebody. But for an example, I didn't look at these cards, I just picked them out randomly. But I picked them out thinking of that this could be a question about a woman coming to me asking about, she wants to make a new business and wants to know how the business is going to do. Okay, so I picked it as a business reading. Okay, so the first card is the Queen of Wands. And so this would tell me, and you get a lot of information right here, especially if it comes out as a person. This is the card of fire signs. That's Sagittarius, Leo, and my mind just went blank. Aries. Sorry, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. But don't just jump to that conclusion, because sometimes this can be part of their personality. For me, I'm a Sagittarius moon, but a Scorpio sun. So, you know, this could be my moon sign. So if somebody said you're a Sagittarius, I would say no. But fire sign is definitely a part of me. So you have to be careful just blurting out that's your sun sign. No. But this gives me an idea that this is a part of their personality, this sign. This card to me represents the Queen of Wands, to me represents Sagittarius woman. So I would say, you know, this spread is kind of picking up on me and part of my personality. It's a person, you know, who's very creative, very passionate about what she does. And in this particular spread, you look at the artwork on the spreads too, and it's showing her holding it, the wand, the reed there, like a baby. So that's significant to me. That's very important. That tells me she has a project or enterprise, because that's what wands represent, projects, new enterprises going on. And it's something she holds very dear to her. This is like a baby project to her, or work. that she does, something very close to her heart. So now we take out the crossing card, and the crossing card is the Tower. Okay, this is actually perfect for this type of reading because the second card is what crosses you, good or bad. And it's actually really, this is a great validation card to tell you what's going on. So a person can be acting like, you know, all is well in their world. And this comes out and you say, oh God, there's something really terrible has just happened. Now, you think that in your head, but you don't scare people and say that. But this is a breakdown of situations. This is the divorce card. This is the breakup card. This is getting fired. You know, this is a collapse of a situation. This is an ending card. This is a card of change, drastic change entering a person's life, and it's crossing her. So it's crossing her in a bad way. It could be in a good way, though. Not always bad things happen for bad reasons. Sometimes it's meant to be a breaking down. Sometimes it allows people to get rid of something that's no longer working in their lives. So the first two cards are the most important validation cards. And so after I see them separately, I tried to combine them and blend them into a short story here. So what I would say is this person who's, you know, has a very dear project to them. I think it's a new business she wants to bring out into the world. But a major event, a loss, has just happened to her. Something disastrous. Really, this situation that happened to her is probably that she's been let go of a job. Maybe she loved that job very much. It was really dear to her. But I would be careful with that. I kind of see this as a separate event from something she holds dear. I would get the impression that she wants to start something new. And maybe she was fired from her old job. So I'm going to keep that in mind, and I'm going to say these two things to the person. And if she's not in agreement here, if I just said, you've lost your job, and she says no, okay, then we got to start over. So start with, be a little bit vague, and then work into more details. So say, you know, a calamity has happened, something has fallen away, something has come apart in your life. Things were going well for you, and something very unexpected happened, and really it's a life-changing event. So I start at, you know, using those terms and see if this agrees with the person. Okay, they're shaking their head. We'll pretend she's shaking her head. Yes, something terrible, something disastrous has happened. So now we go down to the third card, which is, the third position is your foundation. This is the foundation of the situation. This is the very recent past. Now the third card also speaks of the querent, or the person in the situation, their motivation. What is their deep motivation behind this situation? So it has a few meanings. So say exactly what it is now, and say how this card is affecting the other two cards. And now you should be getting feedback from the querent to verify that this is really happening for them. And remember that this is a motivation, a deep motivation behind this person. So be careful what you say about this card. because you don't want the person to get defensive, and then they're just not listening to anything you say. And as far as the whole reading goes, try to not accuse, try to say things in a positive manner so you don't put people on the defensive. You know, if I saw a relationship that was troubled or marriage is troubled, I would have to say words like troubled and not go, you know, this guy you're with is a real bastard. You know, you got to be careful doing that, because what somebody in a relationship will do is they're going to protect their spouse. So you don't want to put yourself or them in that position to have to protect themselves. You know, you don't want to make them feel they're under attack. But getting back to what the meaning is here, so this is your foundation card of why these, you know, this event occurred. So she has the Three of Swords, so I would say this is a betrayal, and most likely a betrayal by a woman in her life. Somebody just stabbed her through the heart, you know, and I feel like this card usually represents someone they know, like a friend. Somebody very close has betrayed them and caused a collapse of a situation. I would get the feeling this is a woman regarding a woman she worked with, possibly told something about her and caused her to get fired. That's where I would go and tell her and see if you get agreement. If not, we have one more chance to get this situation right, and that's the fourth card. And the fourth position is the recent influence that relates to the present. The 4 card shows how the 1 and 2 card came about. Now, the 4 can be a direct cause of the situation, or it can sort of be the round out card, getting the big picture. But now you have to talk over with your client what's going on, because here are your verification cards. These 4 cards have told you the whole story of this situation. Now you have to talk and tell them everything you see and clarify, is this true? Is this happening? And get the feedback, or tear down the spread, because if these 4 cards are not right, then the rest of the cards have no meaning, and they will not help you. There's nothing you'll be able to do to get the reading, to get a correct reading if these 4 cards aren't telling the major story here. Now we have the Hermit. So the Hermit is someone who goes off on their own for deeper knowledge or learning, or they go ahead to kind of gather information and then shed light for other people. But now, how does this relate to these cards here? To me, the Hermit just means being solitary, being secretive, maybe being quiet, keeping things under wraps from other people, you know. Maybe she had an idea for a new business that's similar to the job she's working at, so she had to keep it secret that she's working on a new business. And this person came in and she confided in this person. They were friends at work, co-workers, and she told her, well, I'm creating this new thing, which is very much like the business I'm in. And this person went to the boss and told, and got her fired. That's how I would read this. And if that's not the case, then you have to go through each card and make sure you're seeing clearly, and the impressions you're getting from each card are really the right impressions. Now, most people go on to the 5 and the 6 card, but I don't. I go on to the 7 and the 9 card. And the 7 and 9 are the person's hopes and fears. So the 7 is like their negativity. What negativity is around the situation, or what are their negative thoughts about the situation? Really, the 7 card is usually what they want to get rid of in their life. And the 9 card is their hopes of what they want to bring into their life. And I call these two the magnet cards. The 7 and 9s are magnets because they're opposite, and you can use this in a way also to help you manifest things. But I'll get into that in another video. But just know I go to the 7 and then to the 9. So I read the 7 first. And okay, so this would represent her feeling overburdened now. This goes right with this feeling of being betrayed, feeling like, oh my God, what just happened to me? I just got fired. My best friend at work told on me, betrayed me, so I lost this friendship. This is devastating. This is stressed out, overwhelmed, overburdened. It's not a good card, but it fits very well for the situation, because you would feel terribly stressed now if you just lost your job. How am I going to make money? What am I going to do for work? I want to do this new business. Am I going to be able to survive on this new business, the money? So you would describe this to the person. And then you go to the 9, and this is what she hopes to be. This is her hope for the future, and she got the Queen of Pentacles. So this is great. She has good hopes for the future, that she can actually run her own business, and that she will make money, and she will be a leader, be an owner of her own business, be the leader in her world and her activities. But she's got to get over this. She's got to get rid of this stress in her life about this situation going on. So then next I would just read the 8 card. And the 8 is not a verification card. The 7 and the 9 are semi-verifications. You know, they give more information, more detail to the story. And so does 8, but 8 represents the environment surrounding the situation. It represents the people around the querent. Who's in their life. And it's not just people, you know, this is not some nephew they have. This is somebody significant to this situation. The people in this card will have importance. They will have an intimate relationship with this person and with this situation. And if you can't find out what it is right away, come back to it and get more details on it. But it's the 2 of Swords, so this would make sense. And the 8 card should really be more of a giving more detail, and it should make absolute sense. So there's fighting, there's arguing going on. So this person and her co-worker have been arguing. She confronted her. She said, what the hell are you doing? You just got me fired. So there's been quarreling with her good friend at work. There's been a battle. And the 2 of Swords is a stalemate card, that there's no real conclusion coming to this fight. Both people have their own idea, their own belief what happened, and they're sticking to it. So it's a real struggle that has no resolution right now. So that's the 8 card, the people involved. So this is her and her co-worker fighting. Now we go back to the 5. And the 5 is about the near future, how the client expects the situation will turn out, or her plans for the future. And you can compare the 5 after you read the 6 and 10. You can compare the 5 to the 6 and 10 to see if the near future corresponds with the outcome cards. So what is the 6 card? Okay, the 6 card is Judgment. Okay. So the near future, how she expects the situation is she's now going to come out with her new business. She wants her new business to open now. She's going to work in this new business and make it known to everybody what she's doing now. There's no more secret now. We move into the 5, and this is a wake-up call. It's a coming out party. She's opening a new business. Also, this card can represent she wants to call out this one who betrayed her. She wants vengeance, or she wants the truth be known about this person. So there's another little side story going on here that you can get more information on. But basically she wants to come out in the open with her new business, and she wants the truth to come out about this person, that she's not to be trusted as a friend. And we go on to the 6 card, and the 6 and the 10 I take out together because they're both, this is like a mini outcome, and then there's the big outcome, and they go together. And the 6 is the gateway card to the outcome. So you have to do this in order to get the outcome. You have to move through the 6 before you can get to the 10. So the 6 is sort of the mini outcome, and it's showing me her as the Empress. So she will have this new business. She will be a leader. She will have control over the situation. I feel she will, you know, I would feel like she will have control over this person. And the outcome is she will be doing new work. She will either be opening her own business, or she will be working. And now this is you've done a great job getting the information for the person. And now what you can do is, if, you know, we only see her working here as the outcome. So you can take out 3 more cards and see where she'll be working, what she'll be doing, if this will be her own business, or will she just get another job. You can take out more cards for this one to describe, you know, what is she the Empress in? Is it her own business? You can get more information about the person who betrayed her, what they're thinking about, what they're doing. What other cards? You can also take cards out for the negativity, how she can overcome the stress, the negativity. Any of these cards, really, you can get out more information by taking out more cards. So I hope you enjoyed the reading, and I hope it gave you a little information about how to go about doing a Celtic cross reading. And I will be making more videos to show you the smaller readings within a Celtic cross. And I will expand upon, actually I'll expand upon this exact reading here in the next video. So have a lovely day, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.